Hey guys, welcome back to another maths video. Now, today I'm going to be explaining to you how to do squares and find square roots of numbers. Okay, so this may seem really confusing at first, and you may have heard lots of confusing things about it, but it's actually really basic and simple. They're complete opposites from each other. It's like subtraction and addition. If you know one of them, you know the other one. It's like multiplication and division. If you know one of them, you know the other one. So it's really straightforward and quite simple. So I'm going to be explaining you how to do it. So the first thing we're going to be doing is squares, because I personally think that squares are easier to learn. It's really simple. You have to get a number and multiply it by itself. You may have seen something like this before. 3 squared equals 9. And you're wondering, how does 3 equal 9? Well, this little symbol here means squared, and what it does, it multiplies the number by itself. Now, if it was 3 cubed, then you might be thinking, what does that equal? But we'll be getting that to another video, but just so you don't get confused, so the reason why you times it by itself is, imagine you have a square here, and you're going to be cutting it into 3 groups of 3, like you almost like playing tic-tac-toe. You can count here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So for 3, you know that 3 squared equals 9. Now that might be confusing still. That's fine. I'll be getting onto that in a bit. But just so you know, the reason why I have cube here is so you don't get confused of the reason why it's 3. You've got to find out the length here, the length here, the length here. It's really confusing. So don't bother about that just yet. Okay, so now all we have to do is fill in the blanks. Now, if you want to, you can write this right here on a piece of paper. If you can do it in your head, that's even better. But if not, just follow along with me. So 1 times 1 equals 1. 2 times 2 equals 4. 3 times 3 equals 9. 4 times 4 equals 16. 5 times 5 equals 25. 6 times 6 equals 36. 7 times 7 equals 49. 8 times 8 is 64. 9 times 9 is 81. And finally, 10 times 10 is 100. Now, some of you may have been thinking, hey, all these numbers are right here. Well, that is correct, just because they're complete opposites. So that's all you have to do for squares. Get the number. That's all you have to do. Get the number and multiply it by itself. Let's take 50 as an example. 50 times 50 equals 2,500. The reason I was able to do that so quickly is just because I did 5 times 5 and then put the zeros on the end. As you can see, 5 here times 5 equals 25. Drag the zeros, 1 0 here, another 0 there, you get 2,500. Okay, now what we're going to work on is square roots. Now, square roots is the complete opposite. So, just so you know, this little symbol here, the star, is going to be divided in this situation to keep things nice and simple. Okay, so 1 divided by 1 equals 1, because any number divided by itself equals 1. 4 divided by 2 equals 2. 3 divided by 3 equals 3. 16 divided by 4 equals 4. 25 divided by 5 equals 5, and so on. All these numbers here are just the numbers times itself. Okay, so let's take 9 as an example. We know that 9 times 9 equals 81. So let's try and find out the square root of 81. So we're thinking to ourselves, what number times itself would equal 81? Well, we know from doing some simple calculations that 9 times 9 equals 81. So the square root of 81 is 9, because 9 times 9 equals 81. And just in case if you were wondering what this weird division symbol thing that looks like it's here, this is a square root. So you may have seen something like this. I don't know, or maybe boom, boom, 225, something big. Or you may have even seen an uneven square root number like uh, 301. All you have to do is get that number and think what number times itself would equal 220. So all you have to do is think to yourself what number times itself would equal the number I'm looking for. In this case, it could be 225, 169, or 301. So right here, be 25. Right here, it would be 13. Then here is not going to be a perfect square root. So you think to yourself, how am I supposed to figure this out? I don't know my decimals off my head. Well, all you have to do is get this number, 301, and click this button here. This is the square root button, and it really helps if you have a calculator when you're doing this. So 301 square root equals 17.349. Okay guys, so there you go. That's how you use square roots and squares. Hope this video was helpful, and I hope you can use it in the future. See you next time.